The new light's really brighten the place up down here. It's like daylight almost. Um, grow stuff down here. I won't. But it's 3 o'clock. I've been only up for a few minutes. Um, I need to get out fairly early to get some groceries. And I should hopefully be back by noon to get some more mixing done for the day. Plan today is to hopefully get the next track done, or at least get a good handle on it, and then start plowing through for the weekend. Well, it's about 7 o'clock, and the check didn't come through. I'm a little bit confused by this. I don't know when it's going to come through, but it kind of doesn't matter because it's already started raining a little bit earlier than it was supposed to, which means I can't go out and do anything today anyways. Right now it looks like I'm not doing anything this weekend except sleeping. If I don't have cigarettes, I'm going to have to sleep for the next, 5 days. So we'll see how that works out. So it's afternoon, and there's still no transfer of cash. I've literally spent the morning sleeping. I don't think that there's really anything else I can do for the rest of the day. I'm kind of being forced to quit smoking, although that's not, you can't force somebody to quit smoking. There's no incentive system. There's no process of coercion. Like if you don't want to quit smoking, you're not going to, and I don't want to right now. So I am gonna unfortunately lose today though. Today is a wasted day. I'm hoping that the money transfers tonight at midnight. I don't really understand why it didn't transfer. At See, it can't. It's supposed to transfer on Monday at midnight, but it can't transfer on Monday at midnight because the banks are closed on Sunday. So I think the banks are closed on Saturday too. I mean, if it doesn't transfer tonight, then it can't transfer till Tuesday. So I'm very confused, to be honest with you. I really think it should have transferred tonight, or at midnight. Anyways, there's really nothing that I can do. So I'm going back to sleep, and that's the end of it. So it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, which means that yes, I did just sleep for 18 hours straight, more or less. I was up around 1, so it's what, 5 and 12 and 1 is 18, so yeah. That's what happens when you get yanked off the nicotine. You need to sleep. I think that if I was, dragging myself to some pointless job, in an office where I'm just wasting my time and I don't have to think about anything anyways, like the kinds of jobs that 90% of people do that require no actual thought or effort or anything like that, I could probably, haul myself through the day. But because I'm making art, that's something that actually requires the full use of one's mind. And it's not the kind of thing you can do while you're kind of like distracted and zoning out and falling asleep. Which is the whole point. It's that if I'm going to quit smoking, I'm going to lose a week. There's no way around it. At least maybe more like 2 weeks. Because I have to let my body go. I have to let it out, and I need to sleep for a long time, and all the other kinds of things. I'm a little tired. I didn't eat yesterday, so I'm coming up on 2 days without. Well, I had a smoothie and a piece of bread, but I mean that's almost 2 days without eating, so I'm hungry. Yeah, that's what happens when you try to quit smoking, and there's not any way around it. There's nothing you can do to try to prevent it. You can try and deal with it, but I'm not in a situation where I have to. And like I say, trying to work my way because the labor that they do actually requires some kind of mental use. I mean, I'm not going to be able to just pull myself through like I would if I was working a job on the market. So that's what happened and what will happen when I go through this a second time. Um, that said, the next time I do this, I'll have a lot of filing work to do with typing things up to do, and I'm hoping that that keeps me occupied for, like I say, a good week or two. Um, when is my when are the funds gonna actually come into my account? Well, I would hope that they should be there now. Like I say, it's almost 2. Um, I'll have to check at 2, and I'll have to check on the every half hour until like 4 or 5. If it doesn't come in, I don't know when it comes in. And I'm gonna have to be down there at the office first thing Monday morning to try to figure out what the hell happened. But I'm kind of relying on the expectation that it will be in within the next hour or 2. If it's not, I've got a lot of sleeping to do this weekend because I can't do anything else. It's 2:30 and I'm finally good to go. So, I'm out to get a pack of cigarettes, but I just want to kind of draw your attention to the food. What kind of food have I got here? Well, I'm pretty low. I just had my last banana. I've got frozen strawberries and a significant amount of them, along with ice cream and some rye bread in the freezer. But I mean, I've got down to the last crumb of bread, margarine, and soy milk. There's not and cheese. So if I was to try to make a meal out of this, I would have, Caesar dressing and like sauces, cheese, a little bit of bread. The soy milk and Mountain Dew and strawberries and well, I mean I've got bread in the freezer too. But I mean the smoothie stuff is isolated. So what else have I got then? I do still have spaghetti, so I can just make some spaghetti. But besides that, I wouldn't be able to put anything on it besides mushroom soup and cheese, but I've got some and Caesar dressing. What else have I got in here? I've got mushroom soup. These are cans of beans that somebody will ask me what I inherited from my parents, and I'll tell them that I got some cans of beans. And it's actually literally true. There's not a lot I can do with this. I didn't realize I still had rice pudding in here. I thought I used it all. Okay. Is this still... Can I eat this? March 2015. There's like milk and shit in here, eh? Yeah. No, I honestly thought I ate all that stuff. Okay. Alright, well... So yeah, what would I be able to do with this? I've got mushroom soup, bread, and cheese. What can I do with it? Well, I may be able to... Have you ever heard of, well, I'm sure you've had pea soup with the bread on top. I might be able to kind of bullshit my way over that. I'm not going to. I'm just going to make myself a couple of pieces of bread and get ready for going out to get some groceries in the morning. I'll be able to make myself something to eat by before noon, hopefully. But if I even need to, so I can put the soup away. But you get the point that a lot of the meals that are going to be coming up on my cuisine sequence are developed out of this dynamic. It's 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. I've got to wait a day or two before I get a check, and I planned a little short, or I planned around having extras in the house like spaghettis and tomato soups, or mushroom soups. And I'm trying to find something to do with the remnants of food that I had for other purposes, but I mean, I'm not going to utilize for those purposes that I had. So, like I say, I'm gonna make some. I suppose you could call it garlic bread. It's just old. Well, it's not that old, but I mean, it's just Italian bread with cheese and butter and celery salt. Not butter, but margarine, but just some garlic bread. That's what I had yesterday. literally just like 2 pieces of garlic bread and a smoothie, and that's all I'm going to have this morning as well, until I get to the store. It's not like I had a busy day today. I literally slept. But anyways, this is the dynamic of it. This is the reality of it. And I'm sure that over time I will be in this situation again. And I will need to come up with new recipes. For the time being, I have a lot of recipes to go through still. A lot of ideas that are like this. But we'll see what time comes up. I wanted to draw attention to that. I'm actually like in a, I don't have anything today. If I had anything at all, I'd probably do something with it. But I mean, all I've got is soup and bread, and you can't really do anything with that. So, but that's the dynamic. That's what caused a lot of these recipes to come up, and that's what will generate new recipes in the future. So it looks like I'm doing a full grocery run today. I was hoping I could just get off with a small run. Considering that the weather today is nowhere near as nice as it was yesterday. It's not so bad. I wanted to see what I felt like when I was actually walking around, and I've got 4 sweaters on. It's only like it's a few degrees above zero, so I mean it's not really cold. Although the north wind is a blowing, so it feels a little colder than it is. Regardless, I mean it's not winter. It's still unseasonably warm here for this time of year. So I'm heading up to store number 2 here. Store number 1 just didn't have anything. I really just wanted to get, all I needed for right now for this moment was some vegetables, but even that was just a crappy selection. So if I'm heading this way, I'll probably do a full run. I'll see what's there. The big thing I get at store number 2 is cheese, so we'll see what the cheese is on at. If they have soy at a decent price, I might get some of that. Well, they usually don't. They did last month, which was strange. But yeah, so I was hoping this would be a quick run. It looks like it's going to be a full run, depending on the outcome. If I see, I'm thinking I can put off going to store number 3 because I'm walking up that way to go to the appointment on Tuesday anyways, so I don't think there's anything that I really need to get there today, but it's going to depend on what's at store number 2, really. So the strawberries at the other place were $7 just for the regular 400 gram pack or 450 gram pack, which is $7. Like I'll pay $3 at the most. So they had the frozen strawberries there, and I'll probably pick some up on the way back. But they don't have strawberries here, but they do have rhubarb, and that sounds delicious. I have to try that, and I'm going to pick up some pineapple as well. So there'll be a mix-up in the smoothies this month, just to try out a few different combinations here. So I got far more at store number 2 than I normally would. I had tomatoes on sale. The rest of the fruit was decently priced as well. So fruits and vegetables. The ice cream, it's the same ice cream I would normally get at store number 3 is where I would normally get my ice cream. But they had the same thing I would normally get here for about 20 cents cheaper. So I got a couple of those as well. So normally store number 2 is just like cheese plus extras that I can't find anywhere else kind of thing. So this is a bit of a change. Normally the store number 1 is cheaper for most things. And I wouldn't normally buy rhubarb and pineapple like that, but it looks good, so I'll try it. But that means I'm going home first to drop this off. Then I will head back to store number 1 and fill my prescription to fill out the rest. I will need to head to store number 3, but I don't need to go there until next week. So, and my hands are kind of cold, so I'm going to go this way. That's looking better. Got pretty much everything I wanted. Green peppers and tomatoes and one other thing in there.
I'll keep my secret ingredient for when I make the spaghetti tomorrow or the next day. I do have one more stop though. Last stop was to get a sub. Um, I had a coupon where you get a drink and you get a half a sub. These are actually the kinds of cups that I'll keep. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got a Starbucks cup from about 2011 sitting around, and just use it for whatever. I mean, I will reuse those cups. I wanted to get the process in because there's an objectively correct way to make a sub. Unfortunately, the person working the counter didn't want me to film that. Seemed a little bit self-conscious about her employment choices, which is bullshit. I mean, truth is most of the people walking in there are working, jobs that are as bad or worse than that. Um, I made a conscious. I mean, I'm in the situation I'm in not because I give a fuck, but because I don't give a fuck. Um, like I as whatever you want to say about a job like that, if she's working full time hours and she makes twice as much money as I do, so like it's just a question of. I mean, for me, it's I don't care about money. I care about time. And I mean, if that's what she's doing to whatever for whatever reason that she's doing it, like I don't want to make assumptions about somebody at a subway counter. That would be crass. Um, but whether it's school bills or kids or some other reason, um, it's what you've got to do, right? I mean, like I say, for me, I just I don't care. I don't care about the status. I don't care about the money. I just want time to do what I want, to do what I care about. Um, I'm not the type of person that's going to judge somebody for that. And I think that the idea of feeling self-conscious about that is kind of unfortunate. Like I say, most people that walk in there are working jobs that are just as bad or worse. Um, if you look around you in the society that exists today, like everybody's working a shitty job if they're working at all. It's a very small group of people that are able to transcend above that, and it's getting smaller every year. Um, to me, it's like everybody's equal. That's the job you're doing. I'm not judging you. It's just I thought maybe I could get a shot of me making the sub that I have in the specific ordering. Maybe I'll get it with somebody else who's a little less self-conscious about it. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy my sub. Oh well. So it's a little after 5. I'm back to work. I should be clear that this particular track, um, I know I don't want to modify it. I already know that it's exactly what I want it to be. It's just a question of getting um, the Cubase files to conform to the output, and I was able to do it fairly easily. It's weird. It was I don't want to play with it, but what I had to do is I had to take this and just like literally like mess with it, and then reset it. And now it's not showing up, but I mean it's nulling, so it's good. It's just I got there almost by fluke, but I mean it really um, exemplifies what I'm saying about how this is some kind of a floating point error in Cubase. So what I've had to do is I've had to just output the buses here. Now it should be the case that when I remove that, and remove that, and remove that, and play it back with the two processed files, I should get a null. But I have to verify that. Either way, this was pretty quick, and it wasn't, like I say, it wasn't really an issue of trying to determine what I wanted it to sound like so much as it was actually seriously getting it to null. Um, that's really all I wanted to do with this. Because I've already been certain about this one. This was one of the tries I uploaded to YouTube, and I've been pretty clear on this one from the start. So that was easier than I thought it would be. Presuming that is done, I just have some more file healing to do with this, and I'm on to the next track. Um, as I stated before, the next bunch of tracks should be pretty quick, so I could actually get several done by the end of the night. We'll see. It's about 8 o'clock and I'm sleepy, but I think I should be able to jump ahead about 5 or 6 tracks tomorrow. So, didn't get as much as I wanted done over the last 2 days. I was hoping I'd be pretty much done by now, but at the very least I set myself up to be done, or to get a lot done tomorrow. So tomorrow's Sunday, and then I've got Monday. I could get pretty close to being done this before the doctor's appointment. If so, I could be actually able to walk into the doctor's appointment smoke-free. I think that's stretching it a little bit, though. What I will say is this, though. I really stocked up on the Mountain Dew. So I am definitely planning. I'm serious that once I get through this section, I'm really planning on this. So, if it takes me another week, then it takes me another week. If it only takes a few days, then it only takes a few days. I really think that was the crux of it. The rest of it really depends on how much longer I spend on doing the signals. But I mean, I think honestly, once I get through the actual mixing, I'll be able to deal with it from there, kind of thing. So I'm getting there. I also want to point something else out. I made a decision, I think yesterday or the day before. I need to be caught up to where I was by the end of December. I've been in suspended animation since June, even a little bit before that. The last track I did took a long time. I started it in December and I finished it in like April. That was a long process. I mean, it was 300 tracks, and it ended up being written for a full orchestra. So I mean, it's not. I mean, I spent a lot of time working on it, but at the same time, I really didn't get a lot done this year. So I got a lot done in terms of doing things, but as far as actual products that I'm able to show for myself, and I mean product in the sense of something that's complete, rather than in the sense of a commodity, right? I mean, like, output, completions, like I didn't get nearly as much done this year as I got done last year. So that's something that's been sitting with me. I mean, I'm still not convinced that. I'm convinced it sounds right through ASIO, but the Windows drivers, they're just busted, man. I don't. I mean, it doesn't seem to matter. Like, I'm to the point where I'm just going to disable all the cards and just. I mean, I've been doing playback on the other machine. Like I said, through ASIO it sounds great, but I can't do any. I can't monitor on this machine because it's all monitoring through the Windows, and the Windows is just, it's broken. So the more I look into the issue, the more like I should be surprised that it worked right in the first place. If it worked right in the first place, I'm not sure it did. But anyways, I mean, with all the broken machine and everything, it took a long time to get to a place where I was comfortable with working again. But at the same time, the end result is that there's not much to show for what I was doing for this year. So I need to really be sure that I'm back to the point I was at in May when I started this collapse. So everything else, I mean, there's nothing I really wanted to see this month anyways. I've been through it carefully. If we get a really nice day, I'll probably take off. But besides that, and I mean really nice meaning like it's got to be like above 10 kind of thing, um, pushing into the evening, um, and not raining. It's pretty low probability. It looks like I'm going to be in for the whole month, and I'm really prioritizing it. It's really important to me that I'm able to get back to where I was and just work, so that by the time January starts, I'm back to finishing the end of period 2 and getting into period 3. Um, it's hugely important to me. So I mean, I've set this down, and I have to get this done. Everything else gets pushed to the side. This is the key. So I'm setting that. You can normally when I set hard goals like this, I meet them. I mean, gear complications notwithstanding. But I mean, I'm gonna have to find a way to play back on ASIO on this machine. I'm pretty much convinced. I'm not worrying about it right now. I'm doing playback through other things, and it does sound fine through ASIO. But I don't know. Like all the playbacks, like the M audio card doesn't sound right. When I turn the WDM back on for the mixer, I get the same issues where it's too high and then too low, and it doesn't want to sound right. So I've just been bypassing it. But so long as the ASIO sticks, like I have to get back to the point where I'm being productive for 2016. So I kind of just have to eat the year. I got a lot done in 2014, and the first couple of months, I mean, they were relatively productive. I was, getting a lot done, but I've just been in freeze frame, and I need to stop that. I need to really get back on focus, and get back to finishing things. I really want 2016 to be a year where I get very close to the end. I want to be back on track by 2016, and I want to be just about done by the end of 2017. That gives me, I've got till 2020 on ODSP, and like for me, what that means in my mind is that I have until 2020 to finish my work, to finish all of the music that I wanted to create. That's what that means to me. So, can I do that? Absolutely. But actually, can I get it done by the end of 2016? I think I probably can. That'll give me more than enough time to pivot into something else. At the very least, I've got until well, at the very least, like if I don't get it done by the end of 2016, I'll get it done by the end of 2017. But I'm really prioritizing that. So, I think I got no more than a week left on this. So long as everything stays stable, and then it's a week or two to put things back together, and then I'm set to go. So I really have to focus on this, and I'm doing it. Damn it, I'm back on track by the end of 2016. But for right now, I'm sleepy, so I am going to bed. I'm out later.